What is going on, guys? My name is Feeds, and welcome to Feeds Mindset, episode 28 with the wonderful lady, Cely. Cely, welcome in.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi. Yeah, no, I'm doing okay. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing good. You've had a little bit of a rough day, haven't you?
A little is an understatement.
Gotta push
It's
through the
okay.
bad times to get to the good ones.
It's okay. You can let it ruin your day, or you can just try and be positive and think about the good things in life, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I definitely appreciate you being here. We could have easily pushed this off, but you're the one that wanted to make sure it gets happen. So I appreciate your time for being here. So at the start of all my podcast, I talk a lot about mental health. A lot of it is raising awareness and showing other people that they can do it too. So one of the biggest things I always start off with is our friendship level with whoever the guest is, and me and you have no idea who each other are. So I say this because a lot of people, that's their biggest thing, and I struggled with it for a long time. I mean, all of us did. Breaking that grounds to DM somebody and be like, hey, do you want to play or do you want to hang out or something? And I feel like so many people struggle with that, and so I do that on this podcast and just say that right out the gate because I hope that somebody that's struggling with that can sit here and watch me and you as we talk today and understand, if we can do it, so can they. So that's just kind of something small I always bring up. But again, I appreciate your time and thank you. So before we get into kind of the background of Cely, kind of tell me and everybody that would be listening whenever this gets posted, tell us about current day Cely, like what do you stream, what do you play, and who is Cely as of today?
Oh my, okay. Well, what am I playing lately? I mean, OG Fortnite's coming back, so I've been grinding Fortnite. Can never go on some Valorant, can never go on some Call of Duty. The toxic the better. I'm kidding, I'm joking. Anything like fun, even like doing community games is fun. Anything just like have fun, laugh, enjoy it. Because I feel like so many people take games so seriously. And like don't get me wrong, it's good. But like the times that you fucking remember back in the day are times you did dumb shit with your friends. That you did remember that we did that one dumb shit or like made this fun skit or like used freaking accents. Like that's the shit you remember. That's the shit I want to do. So I guess that would be with the whole streaming thing. Um about me, I don't know if it goes deeper than streaming or we're just keeping it streaming level.
Yeah, I mean it's fine for right now. We can get into kind of the deep stuff here in a second, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah, and I remember whenever Fortnite first came out. I mean that was a ride for everybody. I mean it was really a sick time to be a creator when Fortnite had first came out because freaking sitting in bushes and waiting for a whole squad to come by and then you just knock them out. Like it used to be so fun, and now Fortnite is so normalized as being like a really top competitive game and very sweaty and just a lot of updates and a lot of unnecessary stuff. So with Fortnite, I've not really had the chance to talk about Fortnite really with somebody because most people don't really play it.
Fair,
So
yeah.
so how you playing Fortnite as of current day with all the crazy updates they've provided over the years, how does it feel to still kind of be involved with the game as much as it's evolved?
Honestly, I took a break from it for, like, a few
Hmm.
years. I'm not gonna lie. I got bored of it, it got stale, I switched games, I got a PC, I switched it up a lot, so
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things, it's whatever makes you happy, it's been fun for now, something different, more fast paced, and, like, you can't go wrong, like, all the fucking shit you loved back in the day is, like, coming back, so makes it more enticing, I would say
Yeah.
so.
Do you play the build mode or the no build mode?
I say I do both. I grew up on build, so I'm a
Mm.
build queen. Am I good? No. Um, Never claimed to be, but you know what? If people want to see people dying, that would be me.
Make a little montage of all Sally deaths. That's
Yeah,
funny.
literally, like, what's a kill montage? I just know death montage.
That's
Like,
funny.
God.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Oh.
say I've not played Fortnite in a good little while, but I would always play the no build mode. I mean, when I used to play on
Mm.
console, I would be pretty good. I wouldn't say I'd be like crazy or nothing. But now where I've transferred over to PC, like I am awful at building. Like I can't, and so I'll always play the no build modes. But it's kind of crazy how sweaty that game gets. I mean, there's a lot of people. I feel like Fortnite is highlighted as being like one of the most games that has like tons of like little money because like you'll see like tons of kids have like they'll be like won $20, on my Fortnite, like on my trophies that I won and stuff. And
Mm,
every time I look at Fortnite, I just see like all the money, like just a couple dollars that all these kids make, and they're just sweating so crazy for like $2, and it's crazy.
yeah, but I mean, it's one of those things. It gives them motivation and
Yeah.
the will to be better, determination, and I mean, $2, $200, if they are happy winning, like, good for them. Am I
Yeah.
gonna win? No, but, I mean, hey, it's 2 more dollars they have that I don't have.
Yeah. Nah, I mean that's true too. Yeah. I mean it all kind of comes full circle, and it all does play with the experience. So yeah, so let's kind of get back into it and understand, who Cely is and where she came from. So before the streaming and before everything now, kind of take me back to how you got into gaming, and how it kind of developed into a passion to where you now, kind of wake up and look forward to playing these video games.
I've actually been playing video games my whole life, I'm not gonna lie. The
Mhm.
first console that I had, I wanna say it's a Super Nintendo?
Mhm.
That gray one, I don't know, it was so long ago. So, I used to play the shit out of that, Mario games, love it, give it all to me. I got every fucking console, give me, like, Game Boy, GameCube, all of that, loved it, 10 out of 10, beautiful, amazing. Um, and then got older and then just super got into Black Ops 1 Zombies. We literally would grind that shit for hours, like, get fucking 2 Xboxes, play split screen, go together, like, order pizza, not leave the room, like, probably stay up way too late in our fucking teens, and just grinded the hell out of that. Got my own Xbox, just talk shit on fucking Xbox with my fucking Kinect mic. I didn't even have a mic. I didn't know what this shit was, and they're like, "Your, mic is ass." I'm like, "I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Like, I'm new to this." Went to that, um just got busy with school and then had my fucking Switch, then switched to console, to Xbox, and now I'm on PC, so
Yeah.
I've had a lot.
Yeah. I mean that's good, and it builds a lot of, characteristics and stuff, and I feel like gaming is, it used to be something that was like that everybody'd be like, "Oh, like don't waste your time, like go get another job or work some overtime and stuff."
Mhm.
Like it used to be like something to where it's like you're not going to make it, go work a job. And now like obviously it's evolved to people making millions off of gaming and stuff.
Yeah.
But something specifically for gaming, one of the biggest factors in gaming in general is it's helped a lot of people with mental health and with people that have social anxiety, or maybe they're bedridden, or maybe they just have, maybe they're diagnosed with something they can't leave the house, or maybe they just don't want to leave their house and they're comfortable in doing that. So would you say with you and with gaming as a kid going to an adult, would you say that gaming kind of taught you a lot of things for life in general?
No, I would say my life experiences taught me more about life. Gaming was just more so one of those things just to have fun, shoot the shit, just play games, like, I literally would play I keep swearing, oh my god,
Oh,
I
you're
am so
fine.
sorry, God, hopefully it's not family friendly, I am not.
No, it's fun.
Um, like, I literally would grind playing Just Dance, like, for hours in, like, our living room. It was just something for fun. I mean, I didn't really talk to too many people
Mhm.
until, like, I switched to the new gen Xbox, so it's just one of those things, just like a fun hobby.
Yeah. No, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. And that'll kind of lead me into something different. Do you feel
Mm.
like a lot of people have lost their passion for gaming? I mean, a lot of streamers and stuff, you'll tap in and they don't really seem like they're having fun. I mean, do you feel like gaming's kind of gotten a bit stale over the years?
Um, I think it's one of those things before, it was fun, and then obviously when everyone was, like, stuck at home, it was like you didn't really have anything else to do, so
Right.
everything was so new, so fresh, so it was good, and now it's been, like, a few years and, like, everything's kind of declined in a sense, so then it's hard to, like, hold on to that love, I guess, for it, so it's so hard to say because I feel like there's so many different reasons, like, for me, I would say I love gaming, but I also don't wanna miss, like, a fun opportunity to, like, I
Yeah.
don't know, go swimming, go to the movies, so Before it was just like game all day, 24/7,
Right.
3 AM, like wake up 7 AM, like go again. Now it's just kind of like just play when you want to and just have fun. So it's so yeah, it's so hard to say, honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do understand. I mean, everybody is different. I mean, for me specifically, I mean, outside of like after I get off work, that's really what I want to do
Mm,
is game and stream. But even for me, like definitely nowadays, it's so difficult for me to actually find something that I want to play. Like I'll play a little bit of Valorant or I'll play some
mm,
CS:GO 2 for like 2 or 3 hours, but then I just kind of end up getting bored, and I'm like, oh, like and I'm a big when I'm streaming and I know that I can clearly like tell that I'm getting upset and I'm not like a fun streamer to watch, like I'll end up just biting my tongue and say, "Hey, like this isn't what I want you guys to watch. I apologize. I'm going to end stream and I'll end it because I know that I'm not having fun." And a lot of people
yeah.
do kind of lack that self discipline, which there's nothing really wrong with that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, when you have somebody brand new that has no idea about you, you don't want that first interaction to be you just throwing things and just being all upset and being mad at the game and stuff.
Mhm.
That's not something that everybody wants to watch. So, do you feel like going through that kind of stage, do you feel like you've gotten mad at games a lot? Do you feel like that's kind of brought a different side out of you, or have it not really bothered you that much?
It's annoying, but what I notice now, I don't know if you have as well, is like if we compare now versus let's say 4 years ago,
Hmm.
4 years ago, it wasn't really about competitive. It
Yeah.
was you just have fun, you have your little group of friends, you shoot the shit. Now it's like you have to be the best at this. You have to get the most kills. You have to do something. So obviously, when you're not hitting those targets you set for yourself, you're gonna get disappointed. You're gonna get pissed off, and you say, "I don't want to play this anymore." Because think about the last time that you've played with someone or a group of people that you just had fun. You just laughed for hours about the dumbest jokes and, like, time flies like that. It, like, so fucking quickly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely understand that, and I agree because I definitely feel like most of the content and videos and TikToks that we see now is just highlights and just people doing really well. Like, I feel like there's such a minimal amount of people posting like genuine fun and like belly laughing and people like not being able to control it because they're just dying of laughter and stuff. Like, you don't see that anymore.
yeah, it's just one of those things, like, do something silly, have fun, think outside the box, like, obviously, everyone loves winning. No one likes losing, but, why not have fun with it? Like, go with a bang, do something stupid, like, try and hit, like, the craziest trick shot ever. If you hit it, amazing. If you don't, then you look stupid trying it and you got content.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of another big thing too, where you had said content there. I think that's a big thing too, is a lot of people have so much content, but like where they're so high standards in their head, they don't render it as something that's funny. When other people like are like in their streams watching, be like, "Oh, like that sucks, man. That's unfortunate that you died." And but like the streamer's like, "Oh, fuck," and they get like upset, And I feel like a lot of people just they set a bar higher for themselves than what they can actually comprehend, and I feel like that ruins their content. I mean, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I think so, unless that's their brand and they have people that they like watching that, but, I mean, the majority of people don't wanna watch someone who's negative, putting themselves down, screaming, yelling, you're and be like, "Okay, dude, just relax, it's just a
Yeah.
game." So, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand. There's a lot of people that there's nothing wrong with getting into the moment, but when you start kind of letting your ego come out, that's when it just starts not getting fun. And I
No.
feel like there's just if a lot of these creators when they get upset would just in stream and take 10, 20 minutes and watch themselves and understand how they're being perceived from a viewer standpoint, I really do feel like a lot of people's content would change if they just watch themselves just for a couple minutes and be like, would I tune into this? Like, would I take time out of my day at my 15-minute work break to come say, hey, would I come to watch this and say hi to this dude? And I feel like that could really change things. So yes, I'm glad to kind of get into to know gaming and your opinions and how it used to be back then, and now obviously it's definitely a lot harder to have fun nowadays for sure. And it is dependent on the creator. There's tons of creators out there that just have a freaking blast. Like one
Mhm.
of my buddies, his name's Dietrich, and he plays like the weirdest games I've ever seen, and he's just having a
Oh.
blast. And it's
Yeah.
great to know that there are creators out there that don't care about the stigma of being better and stuff like that. So now that we've kind of talked about your gaming and those different things, take me into the streaming aspect. Where did streaming come into play? Did somebody introduce you? Did you just stumble on it? How did it end up being something where you started building your own brand?
Mm, so, like, I personally at the beginning, I was never thought about it, never second guessed, like, "Oh, maybe," but my friends at the time were all like, "Oh my god, like, you're so funny, like, you should stream," and I was like, "I have no clue what I'm doing, but I mean, like, sure, whatever, like, why not? You just hit the button on
Hmm.
Xbox, you just go, who cares?" So did that and then, like, met a lot of, like, really cool friends and then just, like, built it from there and saw how things went, and just kind of, like, learned and took things in and just try to, like, digest as much as I can to, like, figure out what is, like, the path that I wanna take with this, so, yeah, I guess just in a nutshell, just for fun, if it works, it works, if it doesn't, at least you tried.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely, and that is definitely a big battle that a lot of people have issues with because so many people are longing for it to work and they really want it to work out, and
Mhm.
they're upset with dealing to the point where it doesn't, and they have to figure something else out. And I think that's kind of the gaming space nowadays. I mean, there's so many opportunities, and I feel like people get wrapped up so much in streaming and they're not having a fun time and stuff that they don't understand that they could just start doing YouTube videos or they don't have to do either or. They could just do TikToks or just do highlights or something. I mean, there's so much more than just streaming. And like I said, that's kind of, using the word stigma again. I feel like that's kind of the stigma in this space is if you're not streaming, what are you doing? And I feel like that's such the wrong attitude to have because if a lot of people would just take a day or two to either just work on their content or even just to be the viewer. I do that tons of times. There'll be days where I'm like, I want to go live, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not really feeling it, and it's been a while since I've tapped into everybody. And sometimes I'll just take a day and just check out people and hang in their chat for 15, 20 minutes. And it makes such a big difference. And it gives you all that background in your head. Maybe you'll use it for a conversation down the road. Maybe they'll do something you never thought of. An idea pops into your head. I mean, so much can happen from it. But people are not lazy. It's just the fact that they're so selfish that everybody in their heads is like, if I don't stream today, I may miss the best shot of my life. And it's like, at an extent, like, yeah, that's true. But if you did that all the time, you might as well just work overtime and just buy a bunch of lottery tickets and hope for the best. Like it doesn't work that way. You can't. And people are going to notice you switch up and they're going to notice you're just constantly there for you and you want to grow but you don't want to see people come with you. And I feel like that's kind of the issue. Is a lot of people just don't have friends, and they don't. A lot of people just struggle being the friend, and some people don't even realize it.
Yeah, I guess so, but I guess in also in that way to kind of, like, counter a little,
Hmm.
tiny, um, I think friends it also comes with support that's outside stream, because I feel like for myself, like, I have friends everywhere, and
Yeah.
sometimes they can't come to my stream, maybe they come once a month, I don't know, I don't
Hmm.
care, whatever, but it's like, it's the little things that matters, maybe they comment on your Instagram post, or they, like, retweet, or whatever the heck it's called, X, Twitter, I don't
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. No, it's stupid.
That shit. Maybe it's just something like that, where it's just like the little support matters, because something is better than nothing at the end of the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, and I'm definitely, a culprit of that for a little bit. Like I'll definitely tap into a lot of streams, but like when it comes to Twitter, the same thing, I don't know, whatever it is, it's that's my issue. I see like everybody's stuff. Every day I'm on Twitter, I'm checking in, but like I can't render in my brain to like stuff. It's just I
Oh,
can't. I see it. I'm like, "Oh, like that's so sick." And I'll like react in my head, but I won't like show the love. And so that kind of it gets me on that topic of like sometimes people don't even notice it and like they do have the best intentions and they're just not really realizing and there's nothing wrong with that. Like we live and we learn. Everybody makes mistakes and stuff, but at the end of the day, I think that's the biggest thing is a lot of people will, and I'll say this all the time, a lot of people will post tweets being like, oh, like not feeling stream today, whatever, just going through a lot. And a lot of people will like comment under those tweets and be like, oh, like I'm here for if you need anything or whatever. But it's like if you really were there, like you don't need the public to see you helping your friend. You would actually be in their DMs and be like, "Hey, do you need anything?" And I do that a ton. I'll DM people that I can clearly see going through stuff. Most of the time, they're like, "Oh, like thank you," and just move on. And there's a couple of times where I've had real conversations just because I took the initiative just to DM them and just say, "Hey, like what's going on?"
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Or devil's advocate. playing here, sorry.
Oh, you're
I like to
fine.
do that. My brain is sometimes conditioned to do that. Or let's say if you post something and you say you're having the worst day of your life, like, "Oh my god, worst day ever just happened." No one commented on it, but, like, everyone whatever messaged you,
Mhm,
and then would you feel bad though? Because then would other people feel bad that no one is there to look out for you? Like, let's say I saw your tweet, you had, like,
mhm.
whatever, 0 comments, 0 likes, to be like, "Wow, like, that sucks, like, no one's there for him." Like, I feel so freaking terrible.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
see what I'm
No,
saying
I mean,
though?
yeah, I understand, and it's kind of a, it would kind of formulate into everybody's own opinion. Everybody would live
Mm.
things differently. The way that I would perceive it. So let's say I'm on the giving end, the receiving end. I know it sounds weird, but if I'm if I'm on the giving end and I see somebody going through stuff,
Sorry, sorry.
I know, I get it. It's all right. Let's calm down. So, so I know, if I see somebody going through something, I'll DM just like we talked about, and like I said, the response is either, "Hey, thanks, I appreciate you, I'm fine," or either be, the small percentage they'll, be like, "Oh, like I have this going on," or whatever.
Mhm.
But if I'm on the other end of it, and if I'm going through something and nobody's reaching out to me, like I told you from the beginning, I do feel like I'm kind of different. My response is a little bit different to other people. So the way that I would interpret it is if I'm going through something and I think I have such a wonderful community around me and nobody's around me, it would make me realize like maybe I'm not doing enough. Like maybe I'm not being the friend that I want other people to be for me. And I know that it's situation dependent. Everybody would have their own opinions, but that's what would happen in my head. I wouldn't really pity myself and be like, oh, like nobody's there for me. Like I would be more like, what have I done to not have nobody in my corner? And I feel like that's just kind of like having that self realization. I just feel like a lot of people don't have that, and they see the devil's advocate side, and they see like, oh, like nobody's there for me, nobody wants me, blah 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 blah, and they get so wrapped up that they don't see the bigger picture.
True, true. I guess so. I was just thinking it more so in the same sense of, like, it's also good to support your friends in public and in private. I think both go hand in hand. I
Yeah.
think but that's just the way I view it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand, and doing both ways. I mean, there's people do that all the time. They'll tweet out and say, "Hey, if you need anything, DM me." And then they'll actually DM them and say, "Hey, if you need anything." But it does seem like a reoccurring thing of the ones always. You can kind of get an idea of like some of those people that are very public about things, but it doesn't seem like they make any genuine connections. And just like I said, it's very difficult to make actual friends in this gaming space because everybody has there are reasonings, or just a lot of people are shy. They don't want to. They're afraid of coming out. They don't want to talk about themselves. Like there's nothing wrong with those things. But at the end of the day, if you want to grow and you want to get out, eventually you're going to have to own up to that and to get yourself out there because there's always somebody out there that's willing to listen. There's always somebody out there. You just have to find them, because and it's said all the time, like the 0 viewers you had today maybe will turn into 7 viewers tomorrow. I mean, anybody the next day can walk into your life and they'll be there forever. But if
Yeah,
you don't
true.
take that initiative and if you don't try to be that someone, then you may never get that. And I think that's just kind of the thing that a lot of people miss. They get so wrapped up in today that they don't focus about tomorrow.
Yeah, true, true. Just the way that I view life for me itself. But
Mhm.
mine's more of like, if you got through yesterday, you can get through today.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
always do it present, because the future is so unknown, right? Just as long as you're a better person today, that's all that matters.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, most definitely. So yeah, so we got into the streaming. I did want to bring up one more thing on the streaming topic
Oh,
before
yeah.
we talk about a few more things. So you
Mm,
said you obviously started streaming on Xbox, just clicking the live button. So take me to
yeah.
where you finally got your PC and you started doing your face cam streams and stuff. Take me how that evolved from just clicking a button. No, it's no big deal. I'm live. To now you actually have a persona and you're going out there and you're trying to be your brand and stuff. How did that work for you?
Well, I think I had a face cam when I was on Xbox actually, because they have cloud streaming. I don't know if you heard of that or not. I didn't at first, but apparently, like, just talking to friends are like, "Oh, like, it helps you, like, people, like, see your reactions. If something happens, you're just like, and just, like, laughing that way versus just,
Yeah.
like, listening, I guess." So I kind of always had one that way. Switching to PC, it wasn't one of those things that was limiting me. I just didn't have space for a PC.
Yeah.
So when I had the space for a PC, I bought a PC. That's literally that that's just how it
Yeah.
happened.
Oh, I got you.
So, just
Was a PC gaming side kind of surreal for you when you was able to kind of play more games and you had kind of a more luxury, especially keyboard and mouse too?
honestly, it was not a big shock for me because I've always kind of been a PC gal.
Mhm.
Always been in content creation, um, just not in gaming.
Right.
Um, so it was not anything that was like, "Oh my god, this is so cool." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like, it's cool, I can play Valorant now."
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not more interesting that
No, I mean,
way.
that's fine. I mean, everybody has their own past and stuff, but,
Yeah.
was you more excited though, the fact that just did have a PC and you had, a wider horizon of all the different tools and stuff you could use?
Um, I guess so. It's, like, helpful having a bunch of different screens versus one, I will just say that
Yeah.
for sure. But, it was one of those things I knew when I was getting into PC, I knew I was gonna have so many issues, it was gonna be costly, it's not the same as getting, whatever, Xbox,
Yeah.
PS5, and you just plug it in and it's good, and it's gonna run your 120 frames and you're good to go. This one, like, oh my god, biggest headache ever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
good and bad.
I could definitely understand that for sure.
Yeah.
So we've talked about the gaming and we've got into streaming and kind of understanding your perspective of how that built on. So now take me through, where did Cely come from? How did you get your name and where did that come into your branding to be Cely, known on all your socials and stuff?
Oh, so Cely is actually a nickname for my first name.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So, my name is Celeste, so Cely, celery, cell,
Yeah.
it's all kind of the same. I
Yeah.
wish I had one of those things where it's like, "Oh, it's, like, cool," like, but, like, nah,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
my
that's
name.
fine. I mean, it's still you. I think that's at the end of the day. I think that's a topic that I normally preach about. Having your branding name and the persona that you build is very
Mhm.
important. But it's also important to have some type of meaning. And yours is the best meaning because that is you. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that just slap on a name and they're like, oh, like my name is Apple Banana, and then like they just continue about their
Dang.
day and stuff. And it's like it really doesn't make a difference, but like me personally, I'm always very interested in the story of like these big creators that end up making it, and I'm interested like how they got their name or how they developed that and then
Mm.
use that to build in where they got from today. That's always something that I've always been very excited and happy to look on. And obviously I know yours is a bit more simple in those terms, but it's still, I mean, it is you. And
True,
like I said,
true.
there's a lot of people that do get out there and that are very talented and they just go by these weird names and they just don't care. And I guess it's more of a personal thing, like to each their own. At the end of the day, it's
Mhm.
not really my business, but at the same time it is cool knowing that you develop something and this is what you've built.
True, yeah. I mean, there's curiosity too, and you're always just like, "I wonder how you came up with that." Because I mean, I'm
Yeah.
so uncreative, so, like, I wish I could come up with these cool ass names. I'm like, "Damn, that's fucking smart."
Yeah. No, definitely. I understand. But yeah, so, we've talked about gaming and streaming and, your name and your branding and stuff. So now kind of back to current day and stuff, one big thing, just like I said at the very beginning, I preach about is mental health. I mean, a lot of people struggle with so much stuff every day that we could never imagine. People go through stuff, they don't talk about it. So, with your advice, people that are struggling and they want to just get away for a little bit. They're afraid. Let's say they want to stop streaming because they're not feeling it, but they're afraid that they're going to lose people or they're not going to have all the friends when they come back. What advice would you give people that want to take a break, but they also don't want to lose what they built?
Mm. If what you built was real and genuine, people will stay whether you take an hour break, a day break, a week break. I mean, people are gonna come and go in the sense people are gonna, let's say in a year, maybe something happens and they just need to disconnect from the gaming world, and that's okay. They would have left anyways, even if you stuck to it. Real people stick around. So honestly, at the end of the day, you are the most important person in your life. If you need to take a break, then you take a break because it's your life. No one else is gonna live it except you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I fully understand that and I respect that too. And I think that's, just kind of like I said before, that's kind of like the bigger picture. And I feel like everybody gets wrapped up in these small little bits of kind of
Mhm.
excuses, like in a respectful way, like kind of excuses to be like, oh, like I can't this, I can't that. And it's like taking a break to most people it has been like the most important thing, for them and their
Mhm.
streaming career and stuff. I mean, there's people that's took a break and they've came back and then they've blown up to be one of the biggest creators. And I think that there's a lot of people that hold themselves back, but there's also a lot of people that's chasing for stuff too fast. And I feel like that's
Mm.
another thing that people don't kind of register is that, yeah, we're all trying to get to the same place and blow up and do great, but at the same time, like it's very, very rare that it's going to happen tomorrow. Like you do have to give it time, but at the same
Mhm.
time, if you're constantly putting out content, but you're always upset with what you're putting out, but you're also wanting to make sure that something always gets put out,
Mhm.
you're just putting, adding on flames to the fire. Like you're not really helping much.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, if you continue on, like, the path when you mentally are not all there, you're gonna indirectly lose people around you because if you're whatever, let's say streaming, all you're doing is, like, yelling, being mean, then it's like, "Hey, why am I watching you?" Like, if this is you all the time, I don't fuck with that anymore. You're only hurting yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So, everyone's different, but I mean, everyone who pushes themselves too hard, they most likely will burn out.
yeah,
So, it's just one of
yeah,
those things if you wanna listen to yourself or listen to the demon in your head that's saying, like, "What are you doing?" Like, just keep going. Sometimes you just need to take a break, even if it's for a day, watch a movie, relax, have a bubble bath, and just know that it's gonna be okay. No one's gonna leave you.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's good advice. I think, that's kind of what it is. I feel like people that do struggle with that, they hear that, malicious thought in their head, be like, everything's wrong, like everything's on fire, like everything is gonna go wrong, and they feed
Mhm.
into that and they're like, okay, I'll post content tomorrow, and they kind of like bully themselves into posting content, and they're not realizing that it's hurting them more than it is helping them. And I feel like that's kind of again, that's kind of the stigma is, post, be consistent, do this, do that. And it's like, for algorithms and stuff to an extent, yeah, but at the same time, like it's not worth your mental health to just get a couple extra numbers.
No, no, because then what's gonna happen? Like, you grind, you post all this stuff, it gets, whatever, 100 views, and you're saying, "Wow, I really dropped the ball," and then your mental's even lower. It's just a shitty cycle, honestly, but
Yeah,
it's so hard to say. It's like angel and devil in the sense where sometimes you do need to kind of push yourself and be like, I don't really want to do this, but I have to. And like, maybe it'll be a great day after. Maybe you're like, I don't want to stream, but you know what? I'm going to just do it. And then maybe you'll feel 10 times better after. It's a 50-50 sometimes as
yeah,
well.
yeah. And I've known tons of people that have their own stories about a good day that they not like blew up, but like did really well. And most stories you hear are people that had a bad day, are people that was like, oh, I just don't really feel like it or whatever. But at
Hmm.
the same time, you're whatever passion you have, sometimes you have to let that be a priority, because if you're having such a rough day and you know that you have 4 or 5 hours to spare, you can either A, just take that 4 or 5 hours and just do whatever with it and go to bed, or you could utilize it and be like, you know what, like today's a really bad day, but who knows? Maybe I'll stream, and best case scenario, maybe it'll do well. Worst case scenario, it just helps me pass by some time. And it's kind of like a win-win in a way. And I feel like a lot of people don't understand both aspects of it, and they just kind of like, oh, it's a waste of time. I'm just feeling bad. And it's like, if you are, like, you don't have to, like, nobody's pressuring you. But at the same time, if it's something you want, sometimes you have to let that, take the wheel, and you have to let that drive, because you're not, e- whenever you make it, there's still going to be days where you're not feeling it, and you're going to have to rely on what you've built. And is it something that your passion can overcome?
Yeah, true. I think it's one of those things, the mentality I have is if you want to do something, try it. Worst case, like let's say you want to stream, you stream for 10 minutes and you're in the worst mood ever, you end stream. It literally is not the worst thing in the world. You are in control of your own life. Because if you're just stuck in like, oh no, 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 no. What if like you meet your idol that one day you stream? They come into your chat. Like you never know. And it could be the best day ever. But if you don't try, like you never know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I fully agree. So one of the last things that I'll talk about, I do always kind of bring up this small topic for my women community, that's always on
Mm.
here, because they deserve to be highlighted. They go through their own struggles and battles every day. So I kind of asked something that's it's just kind of more plain, just for the ones out there that do struggle, whether they have trouble making connections, making friends, or they're afraid to go live because of things that may happen, or they're afraid to be on Facecam that day, or whatever the case may be. For the women gamers specifically that struggle with reaching out and connecting, or just even streaming, or maybe people that don't even haven't streamed before and they want to and they're afraid, what advice would you give them to help them overcome
Oh my.
that?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of okay, it's hard
Hmm.
because the way that I view it is there's no like women versus men. I
Right.
feel everyone should be equal at the end of the day.
Should be.
Sure, women have it shitty in streaming, but so do men. I totally understand there's both sides. As for women, I mean, it's just one of those things, like, maybe it's doing it with a friend, having a friend with you, like, a safe have maybe having your safe space with you helps you go to that next step, maybe playing together or, doing something, because if you have something to latch onto that if you go out of control, something bad happens, you know that someone's there to, like, comfort you, tell you everything's okay. But I mean, it's one of those things that also goes the same for guys too, because they also get anxious and stuff as
Mhm.
well. So, uh,
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I understand. I mean,
yeah.
it's the same rule does apply, to both, either or, and I think that is a big thing that could help a lot of people if they have a friend and they know that that friend's about to go live, or they're just gaming. They're like, hey, like, what are you doing for the next 2 hours? And it's like, oh, nothing, just playing the game. And it's like, hey, like, would you mind going live with me? Like, I know it sounds really dumb, and I get it, but I'm kind of nervous about going live today, and I would just, if you could stream with me, I would appreciate it. And like, just like you said before, like the true friends that want to be there for you, if they have the time, they'll do it without question. And
Mhm.
that's the beauty of gaming, and that's really the networking side of it, is just being able to break that grounds, and understanding that who's going to be there for you when you need them. And I feel like just a lot of people long for that, but there's so much missed opportunity to where all you have to do is ask, and so many people are so afraid to ask, which isn't a bad thing. But if you can just get
Mhm.
over that fear, it could really change your day. And it could, again, just like you said, you could have the best stream of your life just because you asked your buddy to play with you and stream with you.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta go out of your comfort zone. As much as being in the comfort zone is amazing, sometimes you just gotta go out of it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What's the worst that'll happen? Someone says no. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
But that's just the way I kind of view it. I
Yeah.
mean, what is the worst that can happen?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. So yeah,
Mhm.
but that's about everything that I've got here today. I really appreciate you being on the podcast and stuff. One of the last things that I always ask everybody: do you have anything upcoming that you're excited to share about with your community, and just any plans that you have for your streams?
Um, no, just the plan is to just stream, meet some more chill people, have fun, shoot the shit, have laughs, and it's just one of those things, those motto, if I can make one person stay or make one person happy, then that's great for me. It's
Live
the little things
live
in
to
life,
fight
right?
another day.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Before we end off on here, is there any last words that you have for anybody watching that you would want to say for them?
Oh man, I'm so bad with last words. Stay in school and throw ass.
That's awful words. Just kidding. All right. But yeah, it's been amazing. Thank you so much for taking the time to be on. I know you've had a rough day and stuff, so I do appreciate you. I'm still wanted to follow through with this podcast. For anybody that doesn't know Cely, go check her out. Her Twitter hat is below her face. You can go and check in the description. Check out all her links to all her socials. I appreciate everybody watching. Cely, again, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I do
Oh,
really appreciate you guys. Everybody that's watching, I appreciate you guys, of course, as well. Thank you guys so much. This has been Feeds Mindset, episode number 28. My name is Feeds, and I'm out, guys.